Hello there, and welcome to this honest review of the Nasdaq Composite Index. Today, we'll discuss the advantages and disadvantages of this popular market index, and I'll give you my final rating at the end. But before we dive in, remember that this video is not financial advice. I might be wrong in my analysis, so it's always a good idea to do your research or consult official sources. First, let's look at the advantages of the Nasdaq Composite Index. This index measures the market capitalization of over 2,500 stocks listed on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange, making it a broad and diverse benchmark. It is heavily weighted towards the technology sector, giving investors a good representation of the industry's performance. Additionally, it includes both domestic and international companies, making it a comprehensive index for tracking the overall health of the market. Now, let's move on to the disadvantages. One drawback of the Nasdaq Composite Index is that it is market capitalization weighted, meaning larger companies have a more substantial impact on the index's value. This can lead to a concentration of risk in a few large technology stocks. Additionally, the index is more volatile than some other composite indexes, which can result in larger price swings and increased risk for investors. In terms of advantages as a composite index, the Nasdaq Composite Index provides opportunities for index coverage. If queries provide search arguments on each key, a composite index requires fewer I/OS than the same query using an index on any single attribute. A composite index is also a good way to enforce the uniqueness of multiple attributes. However, there are some disadvantages to composite indexes in general. Composite indexes tend to have large entries, meaning fewer index entries per index page and more index pages to read. An update to any attribute of a composite index causes the index to be modified, which can be less efficient than single attribute indexes. Considering all of these factors, I would give the Nasdaq Composite Index a rating of 7 out of 10. Its broad representation of the technology sector and inclusion of international companies make it a valuable tool for investors. However, its concentration of risk in large technology stocks and increased volatility are factors to consider before investing. In summary, the Nasdaq Composite Index is a useful benchmark for tracking the performance of the technology sector and the overall market. To make informed decisions, it's essential to understand its advantages and disadvantages and to consider other sources of information. Stay informed, and happy investing!